Welcome back to Fascinating History, where today we dive into the history of Native Americans that was never taught to us in school. Did you know the first newspaper printed in a Native American language hit the presses way back in 1828? This remarkable piece of history, along with countless others, unveils a rich tapestry of Native American contributions, from groundbreaking inventions to unrecognized heroics in battle. How much of this hidden history are you familiar with? And what might you discover about the cultures that shaped North America long before the modern era? Stay tuned to uncover the untold stories of Native American history that never made it to your school textbooks. Number 1. The Female Warriors. When you picture a Native American warrior, do you see a figure mounted on horseback, feathers in the wind, charging into battle? Chances are that image is of a male warrior. But let's shift the camera angle for a moment. History hasn't given them much spotlight, but Native American women warriors also charged into the fray, their roles just as pivotal as their male counterparts. Consider the extraordinary Buffalo Calf Road woman from the Northern Cheyenne tribe. Far from being just a supportive figure, she was a crucial participant in the thick of combat. According to Northern Cheyenne oral traditions, a Buffalo Calf Road woman delivered the critical blow that sealed Custer's fate during the fierce Battle of Little Bighorn. Amidst the chaos of battle, her act marked a turning point. These women didn't just protect their homes out of necessity, they fought courageously and were honored by their tribes. Number 2. Popcorn Invention. Think about the last time you munched on popcorn at the movies or popped a bag in the microwave. While it's easy to associate this snack with modern conveniences, its origins are deeply rooted in ancient history. Long before movie theaters and microwaves, the indigenous people of the Americas were the true pioneers of popcorn. These early innovators domesticated a particular strain of maize, capable of popping thousands of years ago, with the earliest evidence found in Peru dating back to 6,700 years ago. That's right, this snack has been around for millennia, enjoyed by civilizations that flourished long before modern brands and packaging emerged. Number 3. Native Americans had diverse housing. It's a common misconception, likely fueled by Hollywood films, that all Native Americans lived in teepees. However, this narrow view doesn't begin to cover the rich diversity of housing among the various tribes. Native Americans spoke different languages, celebrated different cultures, and importantly lived in distinctly different types of homes suited to their environments. While it's true that many Plains tribes have found the portability of teepees ideal for their nomadic lifestyle, let's travel across the landscapes of North America to see how other tribes lived. The Iroquois, for example, constructed longhouses, which could house multiple families under one roof, creating a strong sense of community and shared living. Meanwhile, in the arid regions of the Mesa Verde, the tribes ingeniously built their homes into the cliffs, using natural cave formations to their advantage. Down in Taos, the indigenous people constructed pueblos from adobe. These structures are not just historical, they're still in use today, making Taos a must-visit for anyone interested in the living history of Native American architecture. Number 4. The vast territory of the Navajo Nation. The Navajo Nation isn't just expansive, it's absolutely vast, sprawling across nearly 25,000 square miles. To put that into perspective, it's about the size of West Virginia and twice that of Maryland. This immense area stretches beyond Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. And it's not just land that's abundant. In 2021, the Navajo Nation became the most populous tribal nation, surpassing the Cherokee Nation with almost 400,000 registered members. Moreover, the Navajo boasts the highest number of native language speakers among all Native American tribes, a true testament to the resilience and enduring culture of the Navajo people. Number 5. State-recognized tribes. Across the United States, 63 tribes hold a unique status. They're recognized by state governments, but not by the federal government. These state-recognized tribes are scattered across 11 states: Alabama, Connecticut, Georgia, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Vermont, and Virginia. What does state recognition mean for these tribes? It acknowledges their existence and their enduring contributions to the state's culture, history, and community. This recognition is crucial, as it affirms the identity of the tribes and allows them some benefits related to education, cultural preservation, and more. Number 6. Native Americans spoke more than 300 languages. Now, before the arrival of European colonizers, North America was a vibrant tapestry of linguistic diversity, with over 300 languages echoing across its landscapes. Some estimates even suggest up to 500 languages were spoken continent-wide. These languages, rich with history and culture, are a testament to the complexity and depth of Native American societies. Yet the history of these languages is marred by policies aimed at assimilation. In a stark declaration in 1868, President Ulysses S. Grant stated that the barbarous dialect of Native Americans should be replaced by English, encapsulating a broader governmental stance that contributed significantly to the loss of indigenous languages. This led to a tragic era where Native children were removed from their families and sent to boarding schools designed to enforce English and suppress their native tongues. It wasn't until around a century later, in 1972, that a shift occurred with the passing of the Indian Education Act, allowing Native tribes the autonomy to teach their languages. Despite these efforts, by 2013, only 169 Native languages remained active in the U.S., many of which were spoken by very few people. Recognizing the urgent need for preservation, Congress enacted the Native American Languages Act in 1990 to support revitalizing these endangered languages. This legislation support is critical as we face a sobering forecast. Without sustained efforts, nearly all Native American languages could vanish by 2050. Number 7. The forced displacement of Native Americans under the 1830 Indian Relocation Act. Before the United States was formed, Native Americans thrived across the expansive lands we now call home. However, the year 1830 marked a devastating turn in history with President Andrew Jackson's enactment of the Indian Removal Act. This legislation wasn't just a policy. It was a catastrophic displacement spurred by the greed of white settlers who coveted the fertile lands in the South for cotton cultivation. The act targeted numerous tribes, notably the Choctaw, Cherokee, Creek, and others residing in states like Alabama, Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, and Tennessee. It legalized the forcible removal of these tribes to designated Indian Territory, now known as Oklahoma. The journey these tribes were forced to undertake was brutal and tragic, with thousands losing their lives to disease, starvation, and exhaustion. This dark chapter is often referred to as the Trail of Tears, a solemn reminder of the price paid by Native Americans. Number 8. Native Americans were granted American citizenship in 1924. 1924 marked a significant legal milestone for Native Americans, as President Calvin Coolidge signed the Indian Citizenship Act into law on June 2nd. This act declared all Native Americans born within the United States as citizens, ostensibly offering them the full rights enjoyed by other Americans. This move expanded on the rights conferred by the 1887 Dawes Act, which granted citizenship to those who accepted individual land allotments. However, citizenship did not equate to equality, particularly in voting rights. While legally citizens, many Native Americans found themselves disenfranchised by state laws that were designed to keep them from the polls. States retained the power to regulate voting, and they wielded this power through mechanisms such as literacy tests. These tests, which required voters to demonstrate their ability to read and write in English, disproportionately disqualified Native Americans, especially those educated in their native languages or in tribal settings without formal English education. For 4 decades, these practices persisted, creating a stark disparity between the rights promised by citizenship and the reality of civic participation. It was not until the Voting Rights Act of 1965 that a more robust legal framework was established to dismantle these barriers and uphold the voting rights of all citizens, including Native Americans. Number 9. The legendary Jim Thorp. Meet Jim Thorp, a sports legend whose story exceeds the boundaries of athletics. As a member of the Sac and Fox Nation, Thorp made history and set a standard of excellence that remains unparalleled. In the 1912 Olympics, he captured the world's attention by winning 2 gold medals, one each in the pentathlon and decathlon. becoming the first Native American to achieve this feat. But Thorp's athletic prowess didn't end on the Olympic track. He was a true multi-sport athlete, competing professionally in football, baseball, and basketball. And if that's not impressive enough, during his college years, Thorp also excelled in lacrosse and even clinched a ballroom dancing competition. His diverse talents and relentless dedication have led many to consider him the greatest athlete. Number 10. Launching the first Native American language newspaper in 1828. It's the year 1828, and the streets of New Echota, Georgia are buzzing with the debut of a groundbreaking newspaper, the Cherokee Phoenix. But what sets this publication apart? It's the first ever to be printed in a Native American language, marking a pivotal moment in cultural expression and communication. Sequoyah, a member of the Cherokee Nation with an extraordinary vision, was at the heart of this innovation. He spent 12 years crafting an 86-character syllabary, a system that would radically empower his community. This wasn't merely a set of symbols, but a key to unlocking literacy for an entire nation. Dr. Ellen Cushman, a Cherokee professor, explains the significance. Sequoyah's syllabary is unique because it was created by a Native person, specifically for Native people, much like the Japanese hiragana, yet distinctly Cherokee. Thanks to Sequoyah's ingenuity, literacy spread rapidly across the Cherokee people, transforming from a rare skill to a common standard within a few years. The Cherokee Phoenix, printed in both Cherokee and English, did more than just distribute news. It wove together Cherokee and American readers, educating and uniting them under shared stories, while staunchly preserving the Cherokee voice during turbulent times. Number 11. The origin of hockey. Now, did you know that the origins of hockey can be traced back to games played by Native American tribes? The Sioux, Foxes, and Assiniboine were among the tribes who enjoyed a game called shinny. This early form of hockey involved a buckskin ball and a curved stick, played across fields that would turn icy in winter months. As white settlers observed and engaged with these games, they began adapting the rules and equipment. Over time, this adaptation transformed shinny from a traditional field game into the fast-paced, icy competition we know today as hockey. As we wrap up, which of these stories resonated with you the most or sparked a new curiosity? How will this change the way you view the history around you? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.